There's grief in Emmerdale village next week as locals gather to say goodbye to loved ones they have lost. While one of the congregation faces the promise of new life, Jacob Gallagher, Joe Warren Plant, is in bits and suffers a panic attack, and, while Sarah Sugden, Katie Hill, does her best to support him, she gets a shock of her own thanks to a positive pregnancy test. Meanwhile, Marlon Dingle, Mark Charnock, continues to make mistakes when dealing with the fraught April, Amelia Flanagan, situation, and when a familiar face turns up, he is left with another difficult, emotional dilemma. Monday, March 3, Joe reveals to Dawn he's going away because of Kim. She is horrified to realize Kim knows about the affair. Awoken in the night, Marlon sneaks to the kitchen to find April, who's furious to realize he still doesn't trust her. Marlon grapples with what to do next when his attempts to explain his actions only make April angrier. Later, secretly sneaking into a derelict squat, April has an emotional reunion with Dylan. Soon after, Marlon arrives and rushes to conclusions, pushing Dylan up against the wall. With the tensions high at the squat, April is adamant that Marlon doesn't understand what she went through. When Dylan encourages April to go back with Marlon, Marlon can't help but be grateful. He's left hopeful when April softens after he agrees to try and give her some space. Kane's left distraught when devastated Moira asks him to move out, calling it quits on their marriage. Tuesday, March 4, Marlon is shocked to find Dylan in the village. April springs to his defense, revealing she invited him. April tries to convince an uncomfortable Dylan that he belongs in a village like Emmerdale before Marlon enters wanting a word. As the pair bicker over what's best for Dylan, Marlon eventually caves, agreeing to speak to Rona about letting Dylan stay the night. Moira is full of relief when she's told she has got the all clear. Kane and Moira make the final preparations to tell Kyle and Isaac about their breakup. Wednesday, March 5, Jacob suffers a panic attack at work. Later, he drinks with Rich at the Hyde, leaving Belle and Laurel concerned. As things escalate, Rich is concerned for Jacob, who continues to bury his pain. Later, Sarah arrives to talk Jacob down, but he dismisses her, telling her to stay away. Upset by Jacob's rejection, Sarah nervously looks at an unopened pregnancy test in her bag. Thursday, March 6, as the villagers prepare for the difficult day ahead, Sarah prepares to take a pregnancy test. A little while later, the villagers gather outside the church, dressed to the nines for the funeral. Sarah prepares herself to read the result of the pregnancy test. After the funeral, Sarah struggles with the positive pregnancy test alone. As the guests arrive in the woods for another funeral, an emotional eulogy gets underway. Kerry and Pollard enjoy a glass of wine, reminiscing. Friday, March 7, Manpreet's burdened by a secret she's carrying. Marlon and Ross worry about Dylan's influence on April. Charity coaxes a confession.